Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. Got a very quick update. You wait forever for a Partwork model to come along and then 3 turn up at once. So 3 Partwork models have appeared now. 2 of them we already knew about, but they've now launched. One's launched right now, you can go and you can pre-order it. One is about to launch in about 3 weeks' time, and one of them is a trial. So let's talk about the ones we got, right? So over at Fanhome, who are just absolutely blowing up with Partworks at the moment, they have launched the much expected RoboCop. And it's very similar to my friend Iron Man over here, but this is RoboCop. So unlike Iron Man, he doesn't light up because that'd be weird. He wasn't covered in lights, but he is as is. But the build, the construction stuff is similar to Iron Man, but it's certainly not the same. He goes together very differently. With Iron Man, you had a box of bits forever until it started to go together, whereas with RoboCop, the legs go together way before you start putting the rest together, and it looks like the construction is a lot easier than it was putting Iron Man together at the end. There are free gifts available with him, so if you have a standard subscription, you will get all of the following. There's also the backpack. The backpack you see there is for early subscribers. So if you jump on it before it officially launches, you'll get the backpack as well. If you choose to pay via PayPal, you'll get this. So there's an option there to get 2 more free gifts. You pay by PayPal and you sign up today. You'll get both of those as well. So I will say this for Fanhome. Fanhome's gifts are quite nice, and that bust I've seen it in France. It's quite nice. RoboCop. You'd think I'd be like, yeah, because I built Iron Man. And I am to a degree, but the difference is we've now built one. So we've built an Iron Man, so we know what to expect. So if you go into RoboCop knowing what to expect, you'll enjoy RoboCop. Because yes, there are definitely issues that are very lackluster in the amount of parts you get. 100%, right? Because of the nature of what it is. That's just the way it is. So there are going to be parts where it's very little to do. I would say it's a more involved build than Iron Man was. But ultimately, it's not a car, it's not a vehicle, it's not motorized. So your electrics are minimal inside this. But that said, in France, they're nearing the end of this and they've started putting it together. Now, I wasn't blown away by Iron Man when I saw them, by RoboCop when I saw them building it. Now it's coming together. And they're at the point where literally all the torso, the arms, and the legs are on. It looks bloody amazing. It looks really nice. It really does. I'm really tempted by RoboCop. I am, but I have to be realistic with sort of budget requirements myself and also time. Time is something that I am running out of. So as much as I really want to do RoboCop, I don't know. But I didn't for the longest time. RoboCop had no interest for me. It wasn't until I saw them come to the end in France, but that is actually stunning. So it depends what you want. If you want an in-depth build, a monthly term, well, you've got lots to do. RoboCop's not for you, but if you want a fantastic looking RoboCop at the end of this one's definitely for you. There is the premium option where you can have the big OCP stand, which looks like this. Now that will cost you an extra £1 per issue, so it's an extra £4 a month for that stand. Now, be conscious of something. My Iron Man over there is not on the premium base. I own the premium base. And once I've got a forever home for Iron Man, he will be standing on it. But be very conscious of just how massive that premium base is. This is not like the small base that happens to light up. It's bloody huge. It's like the size of a manhole cover. So if you're planning on putting them on a shelf, you don't need that premium base because honestly, it's gargantuan. There is no shelf it's going to fit on. You need this thing to either be on the floor or freestanding somewhere or have a very large area where he's going to stand if you go for the premium. Be conscious of that. But RoboCop's lovely, and he is available for pre-order now. He will be launching soon. So you can head over to Fanhome and you can subscribe to RoboCop today. He is shipping in 4s, so it's the traditional shipment. So you'll get your first 2 packs The first two parts will arrive at whatever reason they do that, but they do, and then it'll be 4 a month, which is surprising because a lot of companies are switching for a 5 a month or every 6 weeks models at the moment, but they're not. So this is still 4 a month. So he's going to work out around about 44 quid a month. I think it's £10.99 each, and then there's some shipping, so 47 quid maybe a month. That's what he's going to work out at. But check all of that, because a lot of people subscribe to these things and say, how much is it going to cost? How long is this going to take me? He's 100 issues, and he's £10.99 an issue. That's what you need to know. Plus, there's going to be some postage involved in that. Tot it up. If you can afford him, go get him. If you can't, don't get yourself in debt over a model. But he is beautiful. It is a gorgeous model, and it will take about 2 years to finish him. Slightly less than 2 years. But it is a beautiful one. So that's that one. That's from Fanhome. You can get that today. You can go and subscribe to that. The next one is one we've already discussed. But it is over at Hachette. It is the U-Boat. So the U-Boat was trialed, I want to say late last year, early this year. I think it might have been late last year. The U-Boat was trialed. That is now going to a full run, which again surprised me. I didn't think it would, but it is going to a full run. And I believe that goes live on the 13th of September. So you can go over to Hachette and you can register your interest. You'll be told as soon as it launches, pretty much like they did with Alien, and they will tell you the U-Boat's coming. This is the U-Boat. I believe the U-Boat's 120 issues. It is very large. That's the one thing you need to know. It is a very, very large boat. It has internals, so panels of that lift off, so you can see engine room, you can see quarters, you can see a lot going on. You can see the periscope room. You can see it is nice. I won't be building it. I don't want a U-Boat. I've never wanted a U-Boat. For me, I mean, that it is lovely. It is very detailed, but it is just the outside of a U-Boat is not a lot to look at. It's just a long black tube, so it's not for me. But if you're into your militaria, it's going to be fantastic. The other reason why, my grandfather served in the Navy in World War II, and he would be rotating in his grave to see his grandson sat here building a U-Boat, so I just can't do it. So U96 will be available. You can head over to Hachette. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can register your interest. It will be a beautiful model. There was free gifts available. They're not going to... I don't know if they've still got the same free gifts, but the free gifts are originally with a normal toolkit and the binders and whatnot. But there was a premium option to have figures. So you could have little... I want to say lead figures, but they're not. There were little metal figures that could go inside there to crew it out. It was lovely. So keep your eye on that one. That will be launching in September. It doesn't mean it will be shipping in September. The actual the site itself will go live in September. So you can go check that one out. And then the other one, this has got me curious. This is a trial, right? I don't care what they tell you. You'll phone them up and they'll tell you, no, it's a full run. It's a trial. Trust me, this is a trial. Has got me curious because there's something very weird about this one. But it's this. So that's the Ford Falcon GX9. Now, it's known by a far better name. It's known as the Max Interceptor, and that is what that is. That is the car from Mad Max. Now, the reason why this has got me curious is because they clearly haven't got the license for Mad Max, because nowhere is Mad Max mentioned, right? It's not. They're not calling it the Interceptor. Mad Max's name is nothing, right? There is no map, but that's the Ford Falcon post-apocalyptic version, right? So everything about that Falcon is the Interceptor, right? So it's not just, it doesn't just look like, it is the bloody Interceptor. It doesn't look like it. They've put the police light inside there. They've put all of the modifications that were made for Mad Max on that car. Everything, right? So like, I think you might be getting a cease and desist from Warner Brothers at some point, because I'm like, It's, it'd be a bit like launching an Ecto 1 and go, it's not Ecto 1, is it not? No, it's the ghost hunting Millimeteor. You're like, right. But it's the same car. Same thing with this. So I'm assuming that they are testing the waters first with, do you like the car? Before they even bother trying to get the license. I would imagine when this does eventually launch, which we'd be looking at a year to 18 months from now, I'd imagine when this one does actually launch, they might have the license, and all of a sudden it might be the Mad Max Interceptor, because it's like the free gifts they've advertised, and these things always change, are summon and nothing. So it's the generic stuff. It's like, here's a binder, here's that yellow toolkit they keep giving out. If it had been a Mad Max thing, you probably would have got a Mad Max keyring and a Mad Max metal poster, but it is the Interceptor, and it is gorgeous, right? So this one does something I have yet to see one of our models do, and I'm like, I quite like that. So it's got a motorized engine, so that the belt drives on the engine, so you can see it. So the scoop, the front, the turbo, all spins, all works. So you can see it all kind of going. Doesn't power the car, obviously, but there's movement to that engine, which I don't think we've seen. As far as I'm aware, I've not seen any Partwork have a moving engine, but this one does. So you can see the belt turn, you can open it up, and you can see, and I think that's gorgeous. It's got the police siren, it's got the engine noises. It's gorgeous, it really is. Now, the one thing I would say is this thing would definitely need modding. I build everything stock on my channel, so anybody can come and approach it, but I would say you're going to need to grubby this thing up, right? An immaculate shiny black Interceptor is a bit weird, right? It is, isn't it? You're going to need to crap this thing up. You're going to need to sand up that car. It's going to need to look as if it has been driving through the apocalypse for the past, 10 years. It needs to look like that. It can't be shiny. I mean, they didn't wash cars in there. There was no water. That was the whole thing with Mad Max. So it's got, you're going to have to grubby that car up. But it's a beautiful thing. It's really nice. Now, it is a trial. So where it's being trialed, I don't know. But I would imagine at some point we're going to see these parts start appearing on eBay. They'll pick a location and off it goes. Now, there is a website for this, which I will put a link in the description to, but the website, as fast as it went up, came back down. It was up for about 2 hours, and then it immediately took it down. It just says currently down for maintenance, and it said that for about 20 hours now. But it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful car. Now, Hachette on their YouTube channel did have a video of it. Again, as of right now, that video is gone, but I've seen it go and come back twice, so I don't know what's going on. But it's the Interceptor, and it is gorgeous, and I would 100% do that. I think the Mad Max Interceptor is just pure iconic, and I think to go with our kind of 80s vehicles, it's up there. So I like this one. I think it's really nice. But there we are. So those are the details that we've got up to this point. So you can go and sign up to RoboCop today. You can subscribe to RoboCop today over at Fanhome. You can register your interest for the U-Boat over at Hachette. I don't know what's going on with the Interceptor. If the website's working, maybe you can register your interest. I don't know. But I would imagine in the next couple of days we'll know a little bit more about it. But there we are. So you wait for one, then 3 turn up all at once. Partworks are like buses, and by that I don't just mean they attract, drunks and weirdos. I mean, you wait ages for one, and then loads turn up. So that's it. It's just a quick update, because we just got this kind of like assault of news. So I thought, no, you're probably going to want to know. So there we are. You can see the bits and pieces over on their sites, but be aware that, as I said, the U-Boat site is just a summon of nothing. It's a page. It's a single page. And the Interceptor site, as of right now, isn't actually working anymore. But RoboCop, you can definitely go over and read everything you need to know about RoboCop. That's all from me. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps us massively. We'll bring you more news on those if and when we get them. But until then, in a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And I'll catch you very soon for more from Building with the Boys. I'll see you then.